YouTube B Smokehouse back here with you. And you know, we've got a big game coming up here. I'm referencing the Super Bowl. There are many recipes that tend to just come out because of the big game. You want those little small food dishes that you can get a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and everybody will be okay. I've got one for you today that I've been doing over the years. I have not done this in a while, so we're gonna knock this out on the channel now. By all means, you can go to the store and get a rotisserie, or you can pull out your own rotisserie and do it yourself. That's what we'll be doing today. This video will be buffalo chicken dip, or I could actually add rotisserie buffalo chicken dip. So I've got a rotisserie chicken. This is about 4.5, right at 5 pounds. I went ahead and trussed it off camera. I've got all those wings tucked. On the rotisserie, it is essential that we don't have anything hanging off. Those wings are nice and tucked. Now, as this shrink, I might have some movement going on, but that's fine. I did not get this brine last night. I should have. However, this is about an hour or two before dinner time. I want to give you guys a recipe that I generally do throughout the year. Primarily, this is a holiday / Super Bowl recipe in this smoked or rotisserie buffalo chicken dip. Really easy to do. By all means, you can grab a rotisserie chicken from your local grocery store and do the same thing. Just follow along. The first thing we're going to do, of course, we got to get some black pepper and salt on this bird. I'm not using a binder. This is still moist from me pulling it out of the package and trussing it. We're going to go over a little bit of black pepper, not too heavy. Doesn't have to be perfect. Remember, a lot of this too is going to fall off, and that's okay, because at the end of the day, we're going to be pulling this chicken. I don't necessarily use this skin in this particular dish, but we're going to try and get some salt on it, get it seasoned down to the bone, and continue this recipe. Now we're going over with some Diamond Crystal kosher salt. Okay. Did minimum trimming to this chicken. I did clean it, pull out the innards. We're gonna try and get some flavors on it. Now, when I pull this chicken, pull this meat off the bone, I will go back and re-season as well. This dip has a lot of seasoning in it on its own, so might not be as heavy-handed on the back end of this. All right. So now I'm going to get it flipped over and do the same thing. Nothing too hard. Down with that pepper first. I'm letting this black pepper bounce off my hand back onto the meat, since the meat is still moist. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, just a nice even coat. And that looks about right. All right. Coming back with a Diamond Crystal kosher. I don't expect this skin to be crispy because of the juices and fats that's going to be coming out of this bird. So, and we're going to pull it anyway. That chicken I'll probably discard. Alright, some excellent ideas with that skin. When you get all that meat pulled, you can take it off, make some chicken chicharron. Alright, nice even coat, letting that seasoning fall off the back of my hand. Remember, we're only doing this to the outside, because again, we're going to end up pulling this. Now, this is going to sit here. I might throw it in my fridge for the next 30 minutes, an hour. Let this salt get to work. I'll bring you guys back when I'm getting ready to build a fire and get my universal rotisserie set up. Stay tuned. Alright, let's go ahead and get this spit on. Alright, we are using the rotisserie today. This has been in my fridge, uncovered for the last hour. First, I like to get this spit in. See if not fight me, get it in there, and then we're gonna come out the other side. Alright, let's get these tines on. This is the only thing going on, so I will balance it more when I get it outside. I like to make sure these tines are actually going into meat, or else we might have an issue as this bird shrinks, as the fat starts leaching out. Alright. We want to make sure we get that on and then tighten these tines down. Then I'll use the those counterweights. Actually, we can come down some more. We use those counterweights to actually balance everything. If I notice the motor's having issues, which I have never noticed with the motor that I use, we should be fine there. This is going to go back into the fridge. I'll bring you guys out to see if those logs of post oak has given me some good charcoal. Stay tuned. Alright guys, got my chicken on. Here's how we're looking. I've got my breast to the cooler side. What I don't want to happen is for my breast to the outside to start burning and the inside is not done yet. I'm going to try to bring those breasts up quite slow, keeping them down here on the cooler side of things. I've got a split of post oak that is actually broken down. It's providing some smoke. And I've got a split over here that is still kind of emitting flames. What I'll do throughout the duration of this cook, I might add a few bits of charcoal, come through and add a smaller split of wood because I don't want full flames encompassing this chicken. That's how it burns, right? So I'm going to let this go. I suppose this will take an hour, hour and a half, max 2 hours. And then I'll bring you guys back when we starting to get some good color on this. Now, I will be spritzing with actual spray butter to try to reinforce some more flavor in this besides just the post oak, and to also get a nice golden color, even though we will be pulling this skin off to get to that meat when we pull this chicken to make our beautiful buffalo chicken dip. Stay tuned. Alright, here's how we're looking. We're getting some excellent browning on this chicken. I know we're not done yet. I can look on the inside of that chicken. We still got bright red juices, blood coming out. So I've been rolling with a few small splits of post oak and some chunks of apple wood just because I have it. It is pretty close, however, I've been coming along every 5-10 minutes spraying this with your sprayable butter. Stay tuned. Alright, we're now temping between 175 and 180. It's absolutely fine for the way this chicken has been cooking. I'm going to stop this here shortly, get it inside, tin it with some foil, and then once this cools down enough for me to go ahead and pull it, I'll get me a bit of footage pulling this chicken. Go ahead and gather the rest of my ingredients for this simple buffalo chicken dip. Stay tuned. Alright, here's my rotisserie chicken. It's been setting out here probably for the past 30-45 minutes. I don't have any more gloves with insulation in them, so I wanted this to cool off a bit. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start picking the chicken off here, getting it into my crock pot. I got a crock pot just to the left of the screen. So I'm not concerned with keeping any of this skin, right? Even if this was a rotisserie chicken bought from the store, I would be getting rid of that skin. I suppose there are a lot of things that could happen with the skin as far as other recipes. I mentioned earlier in this video that you can make chicken skin chicharron. However, I'm not going to do that today. But I do want to show you what we were able to attain on that rotisserie. This breast, by all accounts, it's probably the juiciest breast you're going to get out of, smoking on a smoker. I put it on the rotisserie. I find it really hard to be able to dry out a whole chicken on the rotisserie. One of my favorites. In fact, I think this is better than any rotisserie bought from the grocery store. I'm going to go pick this apart. I'll bring you guys back when I have that done. I'll gather the rest of my ingredients and put this dip together. Shouldn't take as long, seeing as how this chicken is still partially hot. Some of the longer items that takes to dissolve into this dip would be that cream cheese. One key step would be to make sure that your cream cheese is to room temperature, so the putting this dip together doesn't take as long. Stay tuned. All right, I've got all my chicken pulled and into this crock pot vessel. Now we're going to go ahead and start adding the other ingredients so I can go ahead and get this cooking. So this is 1 block of cream cheese. Again, as I mentioned earlier, it'd be easier if this was at room temperature. However, it doesn't have to be. And we're going to go in with 3 tablespoons of sour cream. Next, we got about 3 tablespoons of dry powdered ranch dressing going in. And we're going to go about a half a cup of Frank's Red Hot. I prefer this, and for most people, this is what they use when it comes to making buffalo chicken of any kind. So it's going to be half a cup to a full cup of Frank's Red Hot. As you make this, you can go ahead and start tailoring it to what you like. We're going to give it a good mix. Again, it's not going to be the easiest thing to mix because, again, this cream cheese is not at room temperature. However, as it starts cooking down, everything will melt and mesh in place. If you haven't tried this, again, this is an excellent game day recipe. It's been probably a few years since we've last made this. But again, prior to that, every Super Bowl and even to include some holidays, this is what we would be snacking on amongst other things. It smells pretty good already. Depending on what you eat with this, I like chips. I like taking some French bread pieces, getting them broken down, getting them in some butter and on top of a hot plate or plancha, crisping them up. This goes perfectly. Doritos will work here. Tortilla chips will work here.
Maybe about half a block of pepper jack cheese, shredded. You can use mozzarella too.
Alright, we're going to give this a good mix. And then I am going to get this on my crock pot cooking. I suppose 30 minutes to an hour is what this will take. I probably should have got that chicken on a bit earlier. However, you can eat on this for a few days, right? The Super Bowl isn't until next week, right? This is something you can do the morning of, and it'll be ready to go for game time. Other than that, let me bring you guys in closer. If you like a bit more spice, you can go in with your favorite pepper, red chili pepper flakes, a bit more of the of that Frank's Red Hot sauce, or your favorite peppers. You got ghost pepper or anything like that, you can go in with it. We're gonna end this off with putting some black pepper in. Good mix, and then I'm getting ready to go ahead and throw this on so it can start warming up. That cheese will start melting. This will absolutely smell your house up. Smells pretty good. Other than that, I'm going to get this on my cooker, and I'll bring you guys back probably about 30 minutes in. Stay tuned. YouTube, B Smokehouse, we back here with you. This is the finished product. This is my rotisserie buffalo chicken dip. All right, I cut up me some nice celery sticks. I got a few toasted French bread pieces. I toasted these with butter and a little bit of granulated garlic, and then I've got a little bit more green onion because this took, I think the chicken, the whole chicken took the longest out of this cook. I think it was right at 2 hours. All right, so let's go ahead and give this a taste because, again, this is my dinner for the night. Quick, easy game day meal. I think my next one will be another game day meal. Again, like I said, I haven't cooked this in the past few years. However, we used to eat this quite frequently. I've got one of these French bread toaster pieces. I'm going to get a few pieces of that green onion on mine. Can you see that? Delicious. If you think about this, this is your buffalo chicken deconstructed into a dip. It's absolutely delicious. I promise if you make this for the big game day, that pot will be licked clean. I promise you that. I'm getting, of course, that Frank's Red Hot. It tastes like you're eating hot wings. Anything that you would eat hot wings with, meaning celery sticks, piece of bread, carrot sticks. You can even do Doritos. You can do Tostitos. Any of those will work with this dip. I've seen some people sit and eat this with a spoon. That's how delicious it is. It's creamy. It's unctuous. It's got a little kick to it. It's not too hot. Hot as in spicy. Now, I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. The big game is right around the corner. I believe it's next Sunday. Until then, if you make this, let me know how it comes out. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Be Smokehouse out.